That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him."
My dear parishioners, friends and members of our community, once again I greet you from our beloved church, from our beloved parish. I hope that you and your families are safe and healthy. Today I want to share my thoughts and my reflection from a story that comes from the Gospel of Mark, but it is also recorded in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke. You are all probably familiar with this story and familiar from the days of Sunday school. It tells us that one day the disciples with Jesus were traveling, and it was evening, it was night, and it was dark. But then on top of it all, they are suddenly caught in a storm at sea, for which they were obviously very unprepared. On top of all of it, it appears that Jesus is sleeping. And while the disciples are filled with fear, anxiety, and uncertainty, their teacher, their leader, is completely detached from their fears and feelings. For us, fear of darkness, evening and night is something very virtual. All we have to do at night time is just simply turn on the light, and immediately our homes, our rooms are filled with light. But for the ancient mind, for those who this gospel was sent to, the first readers who were the intended audience, immediately evening, nighttime and darkness would be associated with feelings of uncertainty, fear, isolation. And this is precisely what we are going through. We too are not merely the readers of this story, but we are one of the disciples caught in the storm and unprepared for it. But then what do we do? How we are going to fight this storm? I think we should look into the story because it shows precisely how disciples handled it. What they did is they awakened Jesus, and then in a single sentence, in a single phrase, Jesus immediately calms the storm and allows them to safely arrive to their destination. Today, more than ever, we need to bring our worries, our feelings of anxiety, loneliness, and maybe even anger to God, and to communicate how precisely we feel. Today, the entire world needs healing. Let me ask you to join me and the Christians all around the world and pray for healing for all those affected with this pandemic. We should be also praying for our brave doctors and nurses, and while praying for them, also do pray for yourself, so God gives us hope, optimism, faith, and trust toward Him. May the Lord bless you all. Until next time, may the Lord be with you all. Amen.